In this video I'm going to be driving F1 cars, but every time I crash, the F1 car gets older. And to be making things a little bit easier for myself, we're driving at the Nordschleife. Anyways, no time to lose, let's go with this thing. So as you might be able to see, we are starting off with the 2023 Red Bull, which won last year's championship, so it should be a good car to drive. Anyways, we continue on. That wasn't a crash, as you guys saw. But like I was saying, this car won the championship last year, of course, so it should be an easy enough car to drive. And I have to say, with these modern cars, they have so much grip that you kind of have to stop thinking about what you're doing. I mean, it almost goes automatically, especially with this ERS mode that we are in. Brake for this hairpin. It's unbelievable how late you can brake in this car. I kind of missed the apex, full on throttle. These cars have so much grip, man. They're heavy, but they have so much grip. Flat out through here, easy. All the way down to second gear. Don't unsettle the car here, don't touch that curb. And flat out. Can we keep it flat through? Miss, hit, miss, miss, hit, miss, easy flat. Ooh. Into the shadow, flat out. Now we're starting to climb, which is very difficult for most cars. Especially when you don't have the 160 horsepower ERS helping you out, which is what we don't have right now. Brake, this braking zone is kind of difficult because it kind of throws you off because it's also a kink. Flat out. Into the most famous corner of the entire track and also my favorite corner. Third gear, let's see if we can keep it on the banking. Flat out. Right about here is the favorite sector of most people that race this track in real life and in the sim. Almost flat out with the chicane, take this curb, take that curb. Beautiful. Throw it in. You can take so much speed with these modern F1 cars, it's absolutely insane. Now we're going into YouTube corner, which is where you see all those nurburgring crashes. Take the curb on the outside, beautiful. So even though these cars have ground effect, it doesn't seem to be too bothered by the amount of curb that we're taking. Flat out with this right hander, over the crest, left hand side. Almost run out of space on the right there. This is so mentally challenging. Mentally challenged? Flat out with this right hander here. Immediately brake into the left hander. Broke a little bit too early there, too early. We could have carried one more speed into the second carousel now. We have so much ERS left, we can use it all on this back straight here. Let's see, 340, can we do 340? 338, come on. And brake. Left hand side, right hand side brake. Run wide on the exit there, ooh. And we complete the lap in 5 minutes and 9 seconds. So yeah, this challenge might be a little bit too easy, so to make things harder, I've decided that I have to run low downforce setups. And also if I complete the lap, I just have to move to the next car. But anyways, now we move to the 2013 Red Bull, one of the most dominant cars ever built by Red Bull. And also as a surprise, I have installed the 2011 blown diffuser sound mod. Listen to this. Anyways, let's go. As you can see, it's quite foggy now, which is something I did not turn on myself. Oh Jesus, we almost destroyed again at the first corner. But yeah, 2013 cars. A lot narrower than modern cars, a lot lighter. Oh Jesus, I don't see where we're going. V8 engine, no ERS, no turbo. And in my opinion, these cars were a lot of fun to watch and to drive. Also, when I told you that we don't have ERS, I kind of lied. We had Curse back in the day, which is a similar system but a lot less powerful, and you only have 7 seconds of boost per lap. Jesus, this is so hard, I can't see where I'm going. Flat out to the left here and brake for the hairpin to the right. Jesus, it's so hard to see where you're going with this fog. Yeah man, these cars just suit my driving style so much more. They're so nimble, so aggressive, so light. You can just throw it into the corner and just expect it to stick like this. Renault R25, aka the Renault F1 car from 2005. V10 engine, no slicks, super lightweight, Fernando Alonso, let's go. That doesn't count. Anyways, as I was saying, this is the 2005 Renault, which is the car that won Fernando Alonso his first world title. And it is a beast, just look at that top speed, almost getting up to 300 already. This is the last year that F1 uses V10 engines. And at this moment in time, they really wanted to slow F1 cars down. So for 2005, pit stops were banned, which is one of the strangest rules ever. And I'm very happy that it didn't stick. But yeah, tires had to last the entire race, and it pretty much removed all strategy from the races. But hey, now one effect that does have on this car is that it's extremely understeery. Just look at this. Jesus Christ. But Mr. Fernando Alonso managed to turn that into his main strong point with this car, because as you may or may not know, the way he drove this car was very unique, and I'm going to try to replicate it. That also doesn't count. Like I was saying, I'm going to try to replicate it here. He basically used the understeer of the car to make it stable. Like, he turned in so much that the front tires didn't have time to react, and the back also didn't have time to react. So he threw it in, turned it in like that, heat up the tires. So this is the Ferrari 412T, the Ferrari from 1995. And this is the last ever F1 car to be powered by a V12 engine. And that means that this thing sounds absolutely amazing. Just listen to this. Anyways, let's start this hot lap. Let's go. Jesus, that understeer's insane. And we almost crashed it already. But as I was saying, this is the last ever car to be powered by a V12 engine, which makes it one hell of a heavy beast, which is why it's an absolute boat through the corners. But yeah, as all of the other manufacturers were moving to V10 engines, Ferrari was like, no, we stay with the V12. Yeah, the engine was, oh my god, even though it sounded good, it was nowhere near competitive enough, and that was just because it was so heavy. It made enough power, but it was just so heavy. But it sounds absolutely amazing. Just listen to this. As the cars get older, we of course get less and less downforce, but we also get a less and less responsive gearbox, and I believe this is the last time we will be using a semi-automatic gearbox, which means that I can use paddle shifters. Jesus Christ! This is not going too well, is it? So yeah, this is the Williams FW11, aka the 1986 Williams F1 car. And just like today's F1 cars, this thing is powered by a V6 turbocharged engine. But unlike today's cars, this thing has 1200 horsepower. Anyways, another thing that I'm kind of worried about is the fact that this thing has a manual gearbox, like your mom's grocery car. Of course, I'm running with the boost at 100%, which makes things just a little bit easier for us. So this thing is absolutely rapid in a straight line. It just isn't so much in the corners. That's third gear. So yeah, as you might expect, I am perfectly capable of driving a manual car. But driving a 1980s 1200 horsepower F1 car with a manual gearbox, that's a whole different story. Already up into 6th gear, just look at how much straight line speed this thing has. Do we get some air? No, we don't. Flat out through this corner, and we top out at 312, 15 kilometers an hour. Flat out to the left. Heel and towing all the way down to 2nd gear. Pumping the throttle out and center cell to find the traction. This thing just eats gears, it's absolutely unbelievable. Even though we're driving in a sim, and this is only a fraction of what the guys in the 80s experienced, I still have massive respect for the people who drove these things. We're all pussies nowadays, especially karting drivers like me. Ooh, we nearly messed it up there. A little bit of a lockup. Understeer, power, 1200 horsepower. Come on, go, 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 go. Ooh, Jesus Christ, we almost lost it there. Yeah, if this is the first video that you're watching of me, I'm a karting driver, and usually I make karting videos, but because the season is off now, back to the sim, I guess. But I bet in real life we would have blown this engine up already by now. Jesus Christ. Into the carousel, lock up. Stay on the inside of the banking, and we just about managed to do that. This one is going to be very interesting, I reckon. We are driving the 1975 Ferrari driven by Niki Lauda, and as you guys know, Niki Lauda and this track don't mix well. So let's see if we can do better. Final corner, and let's start this hot lap. The sunset's absolutely beautiful. Manual gears again. Brake, let's keep it in 2nd. Jesus Christ, that doesn't count. Anyways, 1975 Ferrari 312T. This thing has a flat 12 engine, I believe. Massive slick tires. Front and rear rings, which are basically just wooden planks. And that's what it feels like. You can tell this car has a lot less grip than the 1980s car. If you put this car in the hands of someone capable, it's actually only about as fast as a modern GT3 car, if I'm correct. I probably don't even have to explain this, but this car also, of course, does not have any fancy electronics. This is really as pure as it gets. That's just also one of my biggest complaints with F1 nowadays. The cars just get too complicated. There's no more real racing. With these things, they're really pushing every single lap. And with modern F1, I just don't feel like they're doing that. That's why I like karting so much. You should definitely go check out some of my karting content. Karting is just so much more exciting to watch, and there's just so much stuff happening. Ooh, it's a cheeky drift there. I've just realized if we're going to make it past these couple of corners, we're officially better than Niki Lauda, because in this corner, Lauda had his famous incident. So yeah, sponsors, get me out of the cart. I'm better than Niki Lauda. You can hit me up with the info in the description. Almost, no, definitely not flat out to this right-hander, and we almost lost it there. Heel and toe, 2nd gear, beautiful. Use a bit of throttle to rotate the car, maybe? I can actually do 360s in real life as well, check this out. It's amazing to see how much technology of 50 years makes a difference compared to a new F1 car. Woohoo, that was the save of the century. Take the curb on the left here, if the car will actually make it, because big understeer, and flat, 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 flat. Will we make the jump here? Oh yes, we definitely will brake. Oh, the jump was too much. Yeah, I'm counting that one. So remember that I said that the last F1 car basically had wooden planks for wings? Well, this thing has no wings. Yeah, this is the 1967 Lotus 49, and this is the last generation of F1 cars without front and rear wings. So we only have the mechanical grip to go from, and Jesus, as you can see, it's very slidey. And that is because it does not have slick tires, and it has basically the same amount of power as the previous car. You see that I'm just constantly sliding through every corner because there's just no normal way of driving this thing. Kind of reminds me of a kart, which is why I also kind of like it. Modern tracks and this car don't combine well. This car was built to race on tracks like the old Spa. Jesus, we got a lot of air there because we don't have downforce. Power slide. Yeah, like I was saying, this car is only built to do one thing, and that's be quick in a straight line, which it definitely is. And this thing is basically just a metal coffin with fuel and wheels. And we spin again. You know what? I'm going to shut up. Let's see if we can actually do some good corners in this thing.
So every time you are close to those limits, the excitement increases and your heart goes quicker and your breath goes stronger.
So if the last car was a coffin on wheels, this thing is a dildo on wheels. And not even on wheels, it's like bicycle tires. So this is the Maserati 250F, which is the 1954 Maserati F1 car. And this thing actually won the Drivers' World Championship in the hands of Juan Manuel Fangio multiple times, because back in the day, F1 teams used to run the same car for like 6 years. So in the front of this massive dildo, we have a, I believe, a straight 12. When this car was made, F1 was not even called F1, it was just called Grand Prix Racing. And if you count the amount of exhaust that you see there, you can see 8 on this side, and there are 8 on the other. This thing has a V16 engine, producing 500 horsepower, which is insane for 1937. This is the Auto Union Type C, which yes, is a car made in Austrian painter Germany. So I have a theory. The people who designed this thing hated their drivers. Because this thing is absolutely uncontrollable. Like, I'm now in first gear, I'm understeering off the track, I have to be super careful on the throttle, and even if I just put a little bit of throttle, I get massive wheel spin. Jesus, how did it snap there? We were going like 50 kph. Alright, so let's just at least try to complete the first sector without crashing. How about that? What color is your Bugatti? Well, light blue apparently, because this is the Bugatti Type 32, aka a Grand Prix car from 1923. And this thing, well, I'll just show you. I mean, you don't even have to drive this car to like it, because the exhausts are right next to your feet. Let's give this, I think, 2-cylinder engine with 100 horsepower a little tickle. No, I think it has even less horsepower, there's like 20 something. Lol, my car literally has more horsepower than a Formula 1 car from 100 years ago. So even though the handling is pretty much the same as the 1950s and the previous car, because it has so much less power, it's actually a lot more manageable to drive. Yeah, engine development really has come a long way over those years. If you have a car that has a slow engine but also bad handling, it is kind of manageable. The brakes, however, are terrible. This thing does not slow down. It does drift quite nicely though. Yeah, look at that. I can just keep my foot in and throw it into the corner and just drift it around. This thing is actually really easy to drive. Oh, for fuck.